Okay, everyone. I'm sorry that this is going to be a little bit off just a second. We had some difficulties with our technical stuff, but I think we've got it all sorted out. And here we come. So really excited to be able to be with everyone and tell you what the latest and greatest things are so that we can get our communities and our families and basically our country to get back to a good place. And a good place means being healthy, being productive, getting back into work in the community. And so one of the things I wanted to talk about is what can you do to be healthy? And remember that there's some unintentional barriers to healing. Like I get asked this all the time, Dr. West, what do you do to be healthy? And my response is I try and put everything in balance, keep the energies at levels up, do your best with relationships that you can't get away with and are difficult. And if anybody's listening to this, I'd say you guys know what I'm talking about, is to put some parameters around the relationships and try and keep really good energies. Now, one of the things that we talk about frequently in our office is one of my favorite books. This is called Curing the Incurable. It's Dr. Levy's book about how vitamin C donates electrons to the body, because when people run out of energy, they get sick. And so we want to have a better way to help them to get their energy levels up. One of the other things that I'm really excited to share with everybody is some of our recent Facebook posts are really cool. You can see them right here. And so this one's on red clover. This is from our Facebook page. I'm really excited to share everybody with that. A shout out to Shelby Stoddard, our medical director, that came to me and said, hey, Dr. West, I'm seeing some neat things about this. So red clover is for women that are having sleeping and temperature problems. There was a fantastic study of women aged 44 to 65 that took red clover for 90 days that reduced sleep problems and hot flushes. Now, I've never had a hot flush, but I've had people come into the office and literally I can put my hand up and you can feel the temperature coming off of them. It's also really neat that the study showed that they did not reduce hormones like estrogen, thyroid, liver enzymes. It's a nice adjunctive way to get temperature regulation and hot flushes. Now, what we're really excited about is there is a way to get red clover, excuse me, in various outlets through the internet. I like a company called, let's just put it right here, Personalized OTC. And we're going to talk about more of that in next week with one of our patients and a live question and answer period. And so we're going to show the patient experience before, excuse me, the patient during some treatments and how the patient was doing now, because they were told that they were going to die and they are not dying. You guys, I need to go through. Can I get you some water? Okay, that being said, we're talking about red clover. The other really cool thing is about saw palmetto. Now, what saw palmetto is it's an herb typically used for males and for prostate, and a swollen prostate. It helps with PSA levels and stuff like that. But the other beneficial thing about saw palmetto is it's not just for men, it's for women. And so what saw palmetto does is it's very good for LUTS, which stands for lower urinary tract symptoms. It's really, really good for chronic urinary tract infections, and it has a really nice, again, it has a nice hormone balancing effect. There's some neat studies that I can share about saw palmetto and women. So give me just a second to get my throat lubricated. So that being said, remember this, that we are putting some stuff together to talk about how to be healthy. There's some barriers to healing. What that means is there's sometimes you to take care of patients and they get a lot better, and sometimes what happens is you work with them and what happens is they are not responding the way that you anticipated. And why that is because they are having some either conflict in their inner circle, we have some bad genes, or the wrong doctors, we have the wrong treatments. And so for that being said, we have a copy of that, or at least a write-up in my book Hidden Secrets to Curing Your Chronic Disease. And Chapter 4 talks about what are the limitations, why some people get better and some people don't. And so if you want to check it out, you can see that at drwest.info. Anyway, so let's getting back to how we're doing things this week. A couple interesting cases. Number one, or the thing that I'm excited to share things with, is people, the home ozone units came in, and we made a video on those of how to get to the home oxygen, how to get it linked up, how to get it started, the different ways to get in your system. There's 4 different ways. You can get it through the ears, you can drink it, there's a ozone therapy, rectal ozone treatment, and there's also some sinus treatments and ways to get it into your system. And it's so good for chronic infection. It's so good for your stimulation, for your immune system stimulation. So we're talking about what are the different things of how to be healthy at home. Ozone treatments, 3,000 units of vitamin C, 10,000 units of vitamin A, 10,000 units of vitamin D3, 30 milligrams of copper is just some baseline. Also, don't overlook the immune system capabilities of essential fatty acids. And essential fatty acids are omega-3s, omega-6s, and 7s and 9s. So your small, medium, and long chain fatty acids, remember, they help to protect the red blood cell membrane so that it's hard for viruses and toxins and stuff to get inside the system. It just gives a nice protective layer. And I like to recommend 3,000 to 6,000 milligrams of essential fatty acids. And then, of course, vitamin D3 is so good for the immune system. Now, the other thing is, if you are looking for any more information on the home ozone units, that I recommend everybody should have this in their medicine cabinet, not only for what's currently going on, but also for any sicknesses and problems inside of your inner circle or your family. So chronic stomach problems, chronic infections, earaches, chronic sinus problems. Man, there's just some amazing healing modalities for ozone. I love the book, Ozone, the New Medical Drug by Vilio Bocci. It's a pretty intensive technical book. It's not exactly the easiest thing to read. And then also we have the complete home guide to medical ozone. So some other things that are happening next week. We're bringing in again our patient to interview live. We're also doing a question and answer period. You can ask the patient questions. I'm so excited for you to hear their story and be able to talk about how many people they had seen before, what was wrong with the medical system or what they weren't helping with the medical system, why putting the body in balance was so helpful for them, and how they're functioning now. So it's a great story. Thursday, 5 o'clock Mountain Time. I promise we'll have all of our technical stuff dialed in. It's going to be really fun to do that. So also, one of the requests that I have, when you see this video, and granted we're not live right now because we had some technical problems, but we are going to be live every Thursday at 5 o'clock. And what I'm excited to tell people about is addressing your healthcare concerns. So if you have a healthcare question, I would like for you to be eligible for a supplement or a consult giveaway. And what you have to do to be eligible for that is you just have to put a question or a request inside the comments about what medical conditions that you would like to see. So we've already been requested to talk about PCOS. We've been asked to talk about back mice, which are basically lipomas and stuff in the back that squeak and make sounds. And I got educated about that from a patient that has back mice. We have also been asked to talk about migraine headaches and hormone cycles for women. I just got asked from a patient, 17-year-old female, saying, you know what, I'm fine, except when I have a hormone change and then I get this debilitating migraine headache. Why is that? And the why is that is because the pituitary, which is like the office manager for the body, it is regulating hormones. It gets worked, it goes to swell, there's no place for it to go, and so it causes pain. So that's one of the considerations for hormonal headaches. And so if you'll comment right down here in the comment field of what condition or what medical question that you have, we will pick that up on Thursday. If we get overloaded with questions, we'll stretch them out for a couple weeks and make sure that we get everything processed And my reward is hey, we're going to have a drawing or a raffle, and we're going to give something away, a supplement program away for the person that wins that. So that being said, love some feedback, and we're going to have some guests on here. We're talking about how we can help people to be healthy at home and some rules for that. So healthy at home, the rainbow rule. It's one of my favorite things to teach people. When you sit down to eat, you should have a rainbow of colors on your plate. Some red, some green, some yellow. It needs to be whole food. It shouldn't be plant-based material. And also you want to make sure that it's not just one type of food group. Like it's not just carrots. It's not just meat. I think it's good to combine some things together. Although I'm getting more and more educated about the carnivore diet. That's one of the things that we're going to talk about in the upcoming episodes, is what happens when people just eat meat. I've had some really interesting experiences on both sides of that. Some people saying, oh my gosh, Dr. West, I feel so good. Another patient said, it's really irritated my kidneys and stuff like that, and everything in between. So we want to invite people to make comments, and then we're going to put it into a raffle. We're going to give away a really nice supplement program. So what's happening on the pandemic side, as you're seeing more and more people are starting to basically integrate back into society. It's really interesting to see what's happening with the deaths and infections, and I just want to put an asterisk by those, because one of the difficult things in navigating the coronavirus panic is the misinformation or uninformation. And what I mean by that is when the CDC and the Department of Health come across and they say that we have suspected COVID deaths and suspected coronavirus infections, when we don't confirm them, I just don't know how accurate that we can really trust those numbers. It's frustrating to me. Perhaps you share the frustration, because it seemed like some other conditions have literally disappeared. Like we haven't heard about a lot of other types of infections that can cause a dry cough, it can cause a fever. The flu has seemed to disappear with the coronavirus showing up, and surely it's not logical that it's completely going away, but you're not hearing anything about that. So are some people getting misdiagnosed with the flu that really have the coronavirus? I would really like to figure out if that's what's happening or not. Also, what we're going to talk about is the therapies inside doctors' offices that were doing regenerative injection therapy, oxidative medicine, micronutrient infusion therapy, because those modalities are helping so many people. If you can get the building blocks in the system and restore the electron levels, some amazing things will happen. It's not just me saying it. We have hundreds of testimonials on our video testimonial blog, Daily Dose Vitamin H. And then the other thing that I'm excited to share with everybody is the amazing things that we've been doing over on our YouTube channel. I mean, we've got some really cool stuff over there, and I want to share that with people. And I want to give a shout out to Jose. Jose's part of my team that is helping to do the YouTube channel, and you can see over here we've got over 150 videos. We have almost 2 million views and thousands and thousands of hours of watch time. We talked about vitamins for fertility, hand injections for arthritis, health benefits of vitamin B3. Now, one of the neat things that I want to talk about on that video is niacin actually kills superbugs. So if you're struggling with a chronic infection, chronic sinus problems, diverticulitis, and then from some metabolic things like cholesterol levels and liver congestion, don't forget about vitamin B3. Niacin has some really neat things. We also have some patient stories about chronic abdominal pain and alternatives to surgery and the body attacking itself and what to eat during quarantine. I'm just really excited and proud of the channel, what we've been able to put over there. Another really neat story is about Hadley. Hadley's right here. Let's see if I can bring her story up. And the reason why I wanted to highlight that is Hadley just got married. And when she came into the office, I mean, she was literally saying, I can't even function. And she gave me a really nice shout out on social media. So I want to be able to profile her story. But there's some neat stuff. If you need some hope and you want to see someone that has really beat their disease,
I don't want to try and
the story
take on
beating Epstein-Barr and how she's feeling now. And anyway, it's just really neat. Okay, so knowing that we have some video testimonials of people that were been out of hope and out of time and out of basically options, and then they get their health back, is just really, really exciting to me. And so we want to make sure that there's a pathway to do that by giving people information and education so that you can beat your disease. You are not your diagnosis. And so if we put together a plan to get adequate sleep, water into your system, the right fruits and vegetables. We have a wonderful diet handout called the Clean Eating Guide that we've been able to share with people. We're also being able to do some custom formulations in a company called Personalized OTC. We've been able to help people to get their home ozone units, and you can see those, get information if you want to know about them at westclinicteam.com. We've been giving away some book giveaways. You can see that at Dr. West Info. Man, it feels like I'm talking about all these different websites, but we just wanted to give resources for people to be healthy and to get their life back, to get their energy back. Remember, health is not the absence of disease. I see so many people that live their life down here when they should be living their life up here. And so just surviving isn't health. You should be thriving. And how to thrive is to get energy in your system and to reprogram your nervous system. So it's a nice little recap. We're really going to push out a lot of notifications and stuff for our Facebook Live and our YouTube Live next Thursday at 5 o'clock. So that's the 28th of May. We're bringing people that have been really sick into the studio. We're going to have them interviewed. You're going to have an opportunity to have questions and answer periods with them. And it's going to be really, really important. It's going to really change a listener's life. Also, if you'll comment below about either a healthcare symptom or a condition, or if you have a supplement question or something like that, if you'll put it below, we're going to put that into a little drawing, and we're going to give away a supplement program, a supplement package. And so that's a real quick wrap up of Memorial Day weekend week. So we are getting excited to go out and spend some time with our friends and our family and be able to really pay tribute to the people that have gone on before this. I'm excited to go out and put some flowers on my pop's grave. I'm really biased. He's the greatest doc ever. And then we're going to have this wonderful Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Thursday the 28th, 5 o'clock, in studio. Patients going to talk about their experience. You can ask him questions. This is Dr. Jason West, and this